I don't know what he's been eating. I don't know if he has a nutritionist, dietitian. I don't even know. He might be on steroids, but the dude has changed something in this offseason. Y'all want to know something weird? We went this entire offseason without talking about arguably the greatest player in all college football. As to how we managed to do that, I have no idea. We didn't talk about him a single bit, and if you don't know who I'm referring to or talking about, I'm talking about no other than Marvin Harrison Jr. Man, oh man, mama there goes that man, this dude can play. I love everything about his game, and as much hype as he gets, I still don't think it's enough. If you don't think he's the best player in college football, that's fine. I think a lot of people would either say A, Caleb Williams, or B, Brock Bowers, but Marvin Harrison Jr., he's gotta be in the top 3. But like I was saying though, if you don't think he's the best overall player, he's for sure the best wide receiver, and it's not even close. Today though, obviously, if you haven't figured it out by now, we're breaking the streak, and we gotta talk about him in this insane update. If he wasn't already scary enough, and trust me, he was, he just got even scarier. And if I was a part of any other fan base outside of Ohio State, yeah, this would frighten me. We're going to talk all about that, but also we got to talk about the #1 overall high school recruit who just signed to a school that's not even that good. I mean, they're not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's caught a lot of people by surprise because many people didn't think he was going to go there. We're going to speak on that real briefly as well, and also I'm going to read off some of the comments in the previous video where I reacted to the AP Top 25 poll, in which I stated it's awful. If you didn't see my rant on that and I went on a complete rant and tangent, feel free to check out this video right here. We got 3 pretty interesting topics to go over in tonight's video. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like college football content, consider joining our amazing community. College football is right around the corner. I'm excited. Everybody part of our community is excited. All right, Matt, blah, shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, I said we start out with this. Apparently, and the reason I say apparently is because it seems like there's 5 different #1 players. But according to this, the #1 player, 5-star defensive lineman, he committed to Missouri. Now, there's a lot of speculation and rumors going on, and I think some of this has even been proven that Missouri paid this kid in NIL money. Which, by the way, let me clarify this. It's legal. So it's not like I'm throwing some shade when I say that. No. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You can do that nowadays. I don't know anything about this guy. You know your boy Matt does not keep up with high school recruitment too much. I keep up with the big time names like quarterbacks, running backs, maybe a couple wide receivers, but outside of that, no. I assume he's good though, but I do want to share this news, and also the reason I want to bring it up is because remember when NIL was put into effect, what did everybody say? Oh, this is terrible for college football because now only Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, all the big time schools, USC, they're going to get all the 5-star recruits. I remember that just like it was yesterday. Taking a look at this, though, if anything, you could argue and say that NIL has given the sport of college football more parity. I don't know this for sure, but without the NIL, I don't know if Missouri would have landed this kid. It's a fascinating argument and debate to say the least. I'll let you guys talk about it in the comment section, but I do want to say this. I love that he went to Missouri. I love seeing these 5-star recruits go to lesser D1 schools. I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. I like to see more parity in our sport. Moving along here to our second topic, let's check out what some of you guys had to say about my reaction to the AP poll. Because in that video, I asked you guys numerous times, let me know what you think, and we're going to check out some of these comments, and here we are. The top like comment on that video says, "Don't get upset, Matt. It corrects itself after 2 weeks of play." And I agree. But gosh, man, just thinking about it, it's getting me fired up right now. I'm not upset about the rankings. I'm just upset that there's people out here that are so dumb and ignorant they get to vote on this stuff. Yet again, how is Iowa in the top 25? They didn't even score 25 touchdowns last year. Gosh, man, pissing me off, but let me calm down. Oh, what do you know? Here we go. A comment about Iowa. I haven't read this. Let's check it out. That Iowa team now has Cade McNamara on it, blah. I think you'll be surprised by what they're going to accomplish this year, considering how good their defense is pretty much every year. As a Michigan fan, I have Iowa finishing with 10 wins and winning the Big Ten West. You want to know something sad about this? Iowa could win 10 games because they play in the worst division in all of the Power 5. Don't even get me started on the Big Ten West. It's beyond pitiful and embarrassing. But getting back on track here with Iowa, no, I'm not buying into the hype. Sorry, I'm not sorry. A lot of people in the video said stuff like this as well. Washington beat Texas in their bowl game last year. Don't know if they could do it again, but Washington kept their entire team while Texas lost Bijan Robinson. I'd probably pick Washington in a rematch. I'm an Oklahoma fan, so I'm biased, but I really think we shouldn't be ranked. We didn't deserve it, or they meant to say don't deserve it. Also, Arkansas not being ranked upsets me even though I'm not a fan. Yeah, that's a great point. I meant to talk about that as well. Arkansas not being ranked, That's a dang shame. They got what I have ranked as the number one quarterback in the SEC, KJ Jefferson. And oh yeah, by the way, to give y'all some context on what this person's talking about when they say Washington and Texas, in my reaction, I stated there's no way Texas should be ranked behind Washington because if they play tomorrow, I'm betting my house on Texas. So a lot of people had a strong opinion about that because they're like, Matt, well, they played last year and Washington beat them. And yes, I understand that, but it was in a meaningless bowl game that Texas could care less to be in. To Washington, that was their Super Bowl. To Texas, meaningless bowl game. My opinion doesn't change on it. There's no way Washington should be right there at Texas. They play tomorrow, Texas is winning. That's just me. If you feel differently, that's okay. I would love to read off more of these comments, but we gotta get a move on. Here's the last one I'm gonna read off from Avery Dillard. I really wish they would wait until everyone has played 3 conference games before they make a top 25 list. I understand that completely. A lot of people have harped on this and said it for years. Why do we even have a preseason top 25? They shouldn't come out with a top 25 until after 2 or 3 games in the regular season. A lot of people feel that way, but at the same time, we want rankings just so we have somewhat of a perspective. It'd just be weird if we didn't have any rankings heading into week 1 or week 2. Because you got to think about it. Us on this channel, we're all diehard fans, but most people that tune into these games, they're casuals. So although us, we know that Alabama and Michigan and Penn State and Florida State are top 10 teams, casuals, they wouldn't know that if there wasn't a number next to them. I don't think I have to explain it. We all know why we have preseason rankings, because when you have that number beside a team and there's a top 10, top 15 matchup, more people are going to watch. It is what it is. If LSU and Florida State played and there wasn't a number beside them, a lot of people wouldn't even tune into the game, but since it's hyped up to be a top 10 matchup, more people tune in. So that is that, and the rest of the comments are just everybody saying, Matt, did you not see the game last year? Washington already beat Texas. I get it, man. I guess y'all think that I forgot about that, but I didn't. I just don't care about a meaningless bowl game. I really don't. It's the same thing when Utah beat Alabama back when, what was it, 2007, 2008? It was 2007, right after we lost to Florida in the SEC Championship to Tim Tebow. Dude, we didn't want to play in a meaningless Sugar Bowl against Utah. We didn't care. It's championship or bust. It's the same thing for Texas. They didn't care about that game whatsoever. Let me know your thoughts on that. But now, finally, moving on to the main topic of the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto this video. What's going on with Marvin Harrison Jr.? Woo, 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 man, oh man. Good old Marvin Harrison Jr. I love this kid. It's hard for me to compare him to anybody because I've never seen anything quite like it. His route running abilities reminds me a lot of Jerry Jeudy, who played at Alabama and is currently a great wide receiver in the NFL. But he's way bigger than Jerry Jeudy. And I also think Marvin Harrison Jr. has that quick twitch ability like a Calvin Ridley, who also played at Alabama. I'll put it this way, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a one of one. There's very few receivers who I say are great at everything. He's not just great at 9 out of 10 things and he's good at 1 out of 10. No. He's great at every aspect of being a wide receiver. It's really unfair. If he could have been in the NFL draft last year, he'd have been a top 5 pick for sure. And if he wasn't already scary enough for defensive coordinators all around the country, check this out. In this offseason, we haven't heard a lot about him, and my granddad always told me sometimes no news, it's good news, and that's a great example of what's going on with him. In this offseason, although he's been trying to lay low under the radar, there's one thing that hasn't laid low whatsoever, and that is no other than his weight training and his diet. I ain't gonna hold y'all, he's looking like DK Metcalf. Remember when he first arrived at Ohio State, he was kind of skinny, but now, no, he's swole. I don't know what he's been eating, I don't know if he has a nutritionist, dietitian, I don't even know. He might be on steroids, but the dude has changed something in this offseason. Take a look at this picture right here. This doesn't even look like Marvin Harrison Jr. This dude used to be skinny, and now he's straight up jacked. And if you were to have any knock on him whatsoever, that would have been the knock. He's kind of skinny, but now, no, you can't even say that. He now looks like a guy who can just straight up run over people whenever he wants to. And why this is so terrifying is because he's already one of the fastest players in the country. He's elusive, got great route running ability. He can catch screen passes and take it to the end zone. But now he can body defensive backs and cornerbacks and safeties. He can now go up and Randy Moss people and just straight up bully them. I mean, he could do that before, but now I feel like it's going to be on a completely different level. I mean, this guy looks huge. I'd say at least in this offseason, he put on probably 12, that may be a lot, probably 10 to 12 pounds of muscle. I was going to say 12 to 15, but 15 is kind of pushing it. Because a lot of people don't understand how much 10 to 12 pounds of muscle is, but I believe he put on that much. He looks like a straight up beast, and while I'm thinking about it, Ohio State's wide receiver room is the best in the country. They got the best wide receiver himself, Marvin Harrison Jr. His game speaks for itself. But they also got Emeka Ebuka, and also, what's the other guy? Isn't it Julian Fleming? Hold on. Let me pull it up to make sure. That's his name, right? I know his first name is Julian. I can't remember his last name. Yeah, I was right. So they got Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Ebuka, and Julian Fleming. And on the bench, they got Carnell Tate, who is also a 5-star recruit. Or Carnell Tate may not be coming off of the bench, but he's not one of the 3 main guys, at least not at this point in time. I don't even know what to say, man. This picture, it reminds me of when Derrick Henry was standing next to Mark Ingram in that infamous picture. I'll pop it up right here. I don't know if it's the angle. I don't know if it's because he was flexing, but the dude looks like a monster. And I just hope that Ohio State's quarterback, whoever it's going to be, can get him the ball. Because last year I felt like they tried to get cute too much, when in reality, just get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball and get out the way. There is no reason he shouldn't have at least, I'd say, 12 targets a game. No reason. Anything under that, unacceptable. I could sit up here all day and talk about Marvin Harrison Jr., one of my favorite players to talk about in the college football game. But let me know your thoughts down below. But roll